Hello and welcome back to Ixion. In our last episode, we continue making progress through Chapter 1, through the recovery, or the investigation, rather, of the Soul System. We have unlocked and done most of the points of interest. We have yet the Outer Hope, which we have a science ship en route. Our other science ship is en route back to the Tiqqun here. And we have Jupiter left as a point of interest that we haven't visited yet, and that I believe will come soon enough. Inside the ship, we have an event we need to take a look at. Administrator, there are lots of cryonic pods in storage. Living with the knowledge that loved ones could potentially be alive and in cryonics is not having a positive impact on the crew. To ensure humanity's survival, the Tiqqun will need as many crew members as possible. Addressing the buildup of cryonic pods in the station's stockpiles is recommended. So you can pledge to awaken 50 cryonic pods within 24 cycles, or we could say the crew should focus on something more productive. Well, we happen to know that one cryonic center can open 3 pods a day. Or a cycle, excuse me. So that means that in 24 cycles, we could open up to 72 pods, and we only need to open 50. So this seems doable to me. And now we have a new objective, and we need to power this back on. But we are also a bit short on workers, so I think we also should pause this for a little while to transfer the workers over to here until we get some more of those people woken up, and then we can go from there. That'll also cause our iron to fill up a bit here, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So we'll wake those 50 people up. We still need to collect a lot of pods, and we still have to get to the Outer Hope. I want to take a look at our fleet here a little bit. And actually, I want to turn off iron collecting at Quicksilver. And do I want to... I'm going to change these a little bit. So I'm going to turn this one down, up, down, down. Stay there, and then down. The reason I did that is because I want the Quicksilver to pick up the polymer, the chips, the food, and then they can kind of share with the people before it picks up the carbon and the silicon. I want them both to be able to pick up carbon and silicon. I think what happens is when you have a cargo ship assigned that may be backing up the storage here, then that's the only thing that it seems like it might want to get, at least in the little bit that I'm ahead of this now in my test game. I am trying to flush this one out, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it. So we need to pick one of these and settle on it. And I think we'll keep this one. So let's go ahead and check that one back so they don't try to keep flushing it out. And instead we'll just have this one flush out into those two, as well as what comes in here, because there's going to be a lot coming in here. We need to keep sending out probes, so let's continue doing that. We're going to have to be careful, though, because eventually we'll run out of silicon, or of polymer, rather, but we can still send them out because we still have a lot of things to gather. And we do need to get mining on the silicon and the carbon, which we are doing. We just need to get bringing it in then, too. Clear that. Okay, so they've woken 3 already, so a cycle must have passed, give or take a little bit, depending on situations. And we can turn that back on as soon as we have more workers. Now, you can overwork your people, and there is a reason to do so in some cases, but I want to try to avoid doing it too often because that can cause accidents and lead to problems. Let's increase the speed, though. Let's also take a look at the tech tree. I did learn a couple other things, specifically that we do need to actually unlock everything in this ring for the next group of things to actually happen. So let's just go ahead and unlock this one, and then the next one, depending on when the final thing over there, that's still a question mark, comes available to us, and which one we might want first. That's full now. This is filling up, and it's probably going to get full before this is emptied. But that's okay. While we have a couple of worker drones, I want to have them come out here and put in another road so that we can put in a couple more storages maybe in this area. And then we can decide what we want to do with this area here. Science ship arrived at the Outer Hope. Alright. A DOLOS emergency signal is broadcasting from these coordinates. It originates from the research station Outer Hope. Outer Hope is surrounded by wreckage and debris from a past battle. Broken equipment and frozen bodies float around the station. The emergency signal is transmitting from inside. So here we want to do some searching. I think we need to do both searches, both searching the battlefield and searching the Outer Hope. Let's start with the battlefield. The Foucault's team will investigate the battlefield to better understand what happened to Outer Hope. And yeah, you can see the miners are out mining carbon and silicon. We have another probe. I should look for some more, specifically some more carbon and silicon before we do any more iron, just to see if we can find any more. There's iron there. Lots of iron. Lots of iron in the system. But iron kind of needs to be the last thing we gather all of. Carbon and silicon need to happen first, although we might already have all those marked. And if we do, then that's good too, because then we can just have all the mining focus on all the iron. But I want to be able to get all the carbon and silicon picked up first before we fill up the ship, or the station, or whatever you want to call the Tiqqun, with way too much iron that we aren't able to process fast enough. And it looks like we might be good on that front. Looks like it, so let's just go ahead and let them get iron then. We may end up needing a little bit of water and or probably not hydrogen, but a little more water before we leave the system here. But we're going to do that last. We're going to do the ice last. We'll see how it works out. Do I have a stockpile marked for carbon or silicon? I do not. So we need to be able to store those. Let's just go ahead and turn on a carbon. Although we haven't collected any yet, so we're probably okay still. Because they're still collecting these completed resources yet, and then they'll switch to carbon and silicon. So carbon will probably come first because it's more to the left. At least it seems like it might come first, so we'll wait on that. Let's turn this one off now that it's full of iron. Where are we at with people? We have 29 people. We need 30 for this. One more wakey. We might be getting close to having too many people, too. So we might have to put up another house pretty soon. Wakey. Memorials is finished. Let's do Alternative Life Center. There we are. Okay, let's turn this back on that we can get back to smelting. I may want to put some storage down here to put the alloys in as well. That might be worth moving. We do have 3 places right now that have alloys in them. We could potentially do that, put some more down here, and deliver the alloys to these. It's a long trip, but I think it'll be a decent idea. I think I'll leave all 3 of these on for right now, and then once these 2 pop up... maybe once one of these pops up, we can flush some of the alloys into... we can flush some of the alloys into this, all the alloys potentially into this, and free up these ones over here for other things later. And then have the alloys stored down here, maybe. I don't know. And you can see that these are getting used and then getting refilled again really fast. The battle seems to have been made up of multiple engagements, with debris from the conflicts mostly consisting of wrecked shuttles. Some of these destroyed ships bear the insignia of the UN, though the majority carry DOLOS emblems. Sophisticated weapon systems were also identified among the wreckage, bearing the acronym BMS. We know what that means. The Foucault's team was able to salvage some resources from the debris. Alright, so let's search the Outer Hope. Try and locate the source of the emergency broadcast. Alright, you need to be this. And then we can turn off this one, and this one. It's going to take a while to shove that all down there because it's only going to be pulling, not pushing, I think. Yeah. But that's okay because when this thing produces more, it'll just send it right into here then. And I think this one's going to empty out really quickly, so... yep, there it goes. So once that's done, and clear... Actually, we might be able to turn it off now, in fact, because it's only... It pulls, not pushes, so... Well, we are full on iron, so it might be worthwhile to enable another storage for iron. At least for a while, to get this thing moving through. We unlock... Oh, yes. So we've unlocked these memorials. They seem to... They all give +1 stability, but they have tech tree upgrades that can increase the bonus in sectors with a specific specialization. So we could build one of these anytime. They're huge, but we could build one of them anytime and take up some space here, of course, but also boost our stability. Although we don't need to. Well, we do have too much homelessness, so we actually do need to build another house. Brew quarters, here we are. And then we had an alert for the Foucault. Let's go here. Naomi Protocol. Outer Hope lies in ruins. Many embalmed bodies were found in the remains of the station, deliberately arranged in a spiral-like pattern. Great care and attention seems to have been paid to the bodies. The Foucault's team traced the emergency broadcast, and after clearing away several tons of debris, discovered a hidden room buried beneath the detritus. The room was sealed with an automatic lock that requested Tiqqun identification codes. Upon entering the codes, a brief message flashed across the input screen. Truth is the story that best resists reality. Inside, the team found Outer Hope's black box, a number of resources, and a data log from Rabia Nyokand. It contained the following message. Administrator, you carry with you what the echo of the future allowed us to create. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern. The black box's data can be analyzed using the Tiqqun's tech lab. So you get a crap ton of resources here again, or electronics, a bunch of people, a bunch of pod people, and 40 science, as well as the new technology Outer Hope black box and a new event, the Legacy of DOLOS. And then finally, we can either dismantle the Outer Hope, or we can leave. And if we leave, we cannot come back, of course, again. And otherwise, we can dismantle, and they will scavenge as many resources as possible. Again, with these, I don't know if this is the best solution. If we ever come back here, maybe it's not going to be the best solution. But until we come back, we don't know. There is still iron to mine. We can still keep sending out some probes, though, to at least tag the rest of the iron in the system. Because we know now that we have way too much carbon and silicon. So let's do that. Alternative Life Center's been unlocked, and now we can research Outer Hope Black Box. And we now also have available to us the next ring of researches, which is potentially kind of nice. Alright, so let's research the black box. It's going to cost us 30 science, but we're getting some more coming in. And we can go from there. What do we have here? We received the data from Outer Hope's black box. Further analysis is required, and extraction protocols can be launched via the Tiqqun's tech lab. I did that out of order. That's okay. Acknowledged. Let's see. Homelessness is just now good. That must have just finished. So we should be good for a little while at least. We're actually exactly at... Did we awaken enough people? No, not yet. We did not yet awaken enough people. Let's see, this is full again, or already. I think I'll just wait and let them refill the smelting from there. So I don't know if we want to do another one of these. I suppose we could because of the excess people. But that also gives us this alternative life center, which costs 10 workers. These don't cost any workers. It costs us less electronics, but more alloys, and also it costs us some power. But it is smaller, so it's a trade-off. I think I'm going to just build one of these. I'm not sure which one is the best one for what we're in the space sector right now. Can we find that out, actually? If I come out here to memorials, industry, food, population. Okay, they don't care then about space here. So let's just pick one and put it up, maybe. We'll just pick this first one. I don't know if there's a reason to pick one or the other, but we'll pick that one. We'll put that up, and we'll see if that gets us anything beneficial. Let's see. This can be powered off. This can be powered off. This can be powered off. That frees up a bunch of workers. A bunch of. We have 30 workers now. As soon as we get to 50 on this, I'm going to pause Wakey Wakey again, I think. Although I have another idea of possibility here. Because we have a new tutorial for food. There's an next tier or so of additional types of food. Crab farms, mushroom walls, and algae farms. Mushroom walls transform waste into food. Crop farms produce food on a large scale and need a lot of water to run. Algae farms take a lot of resources to research and build, but produce great quantities of food. So we should look at these and see which one may be the best one. Water is processed at a fusion station, and also waste treatment center or water treatment center, excuse me, can also produce water. It is done in a fusion station, or it also needs a fusion station still to store the water produced. So maybe the fusion station is better here for our water situation. And then finally, crop farms need fields to function. Fields can be placed from the building panel by clicking on the Build Field button, covering up to a total of 144 field tiles. Field has to be at least 4x4 and adjacent to the farm with nothing overlapping it. And then they harvest with trucks, basically. So my next sort of thought is maybe it's time to open up another sector. We have a surplus of workers right now. We looked at it, and it was 30. We have way too many pods here, or we have too much homelessness here, rather. So we need to deal with that also. And part of the way you could deal with that is to send people to another sector, because opening another sector requires 80 alloys, 1 electronics, 16 food, and 40 people. Looking at the tech tree, we do need to look at that food. Let's see, we have over here, yeah. Mushroom wall costs 60 science to research. We're not going to get any of these with the science we have left. So unless there's more still coming in, which we can take a quick look at. I don't think there is. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. If there's no more science coming in, well, we might get more science yet. Once we dismantle and finish collecting. Oh, we're collecting 59 science. Okay, there is more science. Sorry, I missed that icon. So we might want to research after we finish this one. We might want to research the one of the fields or one of the farms. That could be worth it. But I think a train station. Interesting. But I think we want to probably go ahead and get this started. Like it says, we need 40 people. We have just over 30 available right now, but we could get more. We could disable this temporarily. It's flushing its waste right now. And we can also help with our homelessness issue instead of building more housing. So maybe that's a good idea. Oh, you finished your event here. Outer Hope has been dismantled. Resources are ready for extraction. 37 more alloy, 13 more polymer. There we go. And now you are done. Almost done. Almost done. So let's go ahead and start working on overriding the locks and getting into Section 2. Either way, we definitely need to do some food research because we're going to run out of food pretty soon. We have enough for about, let's see, well, 10 plus more cycles after 125. Depending on how much food we might still have to collect, which isn't any. So yeah, we need to get food in here. We need to grow more food. This is, no matter how many of these we make, it's not going to be sustainable. So we definitely need more food. That's a low density thing. Alright, so we finished Outer Hope Black Box. So now we can do another one of these researches. And I think, let's see, a large amount of water. Wait, where's the algae farms at? Am I missing the algae farms? Fire station, waste treatment, fusion station, colony. Unless it's this. I don't know where the algae farms are. Maybe they're not even in this tier. That might solve our problem here. And then we can also look at what else we might want to do. Yeah, let's pause this temporarily. What we might want to do... no, actually we can't. We need the alloys. Leave that going. Where else can I pause then? Let's pause one of these. And... let's pause a couple of these. And that'll help. Okay, good. But yeah, we definitely are going to need some more food. Oh, event available. Administrator, the black box's data has provided some useful information. A DOLOS facility has been located, hidden in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Officially designated Hephaestus, the site was used to develop a new type of Vol engine. It also accommodated the construction of a Taurus-class superstructure known to DOLOS as the Protagoras. This iteration on the Tiqqun was sent on a mission to seek out the habitable exoplanet Remus, where the last survivors of Earth could establish a new home. Despite the damage done to Outer Hope, the station was still able to later receive a distress signal from the Protagoras with Vol jump coordinates encoded, indicating the ship's last presumed location. Acknowledged. Alright, so we can clear that and this. So technology-wise, I guess we do the crop farm then. I guess that makes sense to start on. I'm not entirely sure at this stage. I've just now kind of rubbed up against where I'm at in my other save, so we're going in blind, folks. But I think it makes sense to put in to do some farming. We have 82 science though, and this is going to cost us basically as much as we can have of it. Otherwise, we could spend some of that science on some of these upgrades that are now available to us. Optimized quarter gives us a new set of quarters. We could also go into the infirmary and do reorganization of care. We could go into the tech lab and do assistant promotion, which would actually give us 3 units of science every 5 cycles, versus right now we're getting, I think, 1 or 5 or something every 30 cycles. 1 every 30 cycles. So that could actually be useful, because then we could actually unlock additional science after opening that up. So I think, but either way, I think we need to open up this next sector and at least start growing some food in there, and then transporting the food back and forth. But we need to get it done fairly quickly, as we really only have enough food for till about cycle 135. So let's now make a decision, Wally. Make a decision. Let's do the tech lab upgrade here. Get this additional science production. And then once that's done, we can try to do as much of the other the food research as we can, because yeah, this is going to be a problem. We open up, we need 2 more pods opened up. Okay, well, less than a cycle left on that then. The other thing we need to build at some point here is batteries. Also, I want to go, I want to go out to, you finished gathering all the science. Great. So, because we need to go here to Jupiter now, too. And so maybe we take the Montessori out to Jupiter. And we let the Faculty come back to the Tiqqun, like that. And then we let the folks pick up the stuff out there, of course. And we can continue with this. We still need a bit more delivery of alloys when we have them. Maybe I should dismantle some of these, in fact, to get more alloys out of it. That could be a useful idea. Because I have so much storage here that's being unused, or that's going unused. Dismantle a few of those. That'll give us back some alloys. That could be useful for our future here a little bit. And then, like I was saying, the batteries, because we'll need batteries before we want to try to move the ship. They're going to take a lot of alloys, though, so it's going to be a little bit of time before we can actually build them, because we'll need to finish this up first. But you can see that they are taking the resources from here, kind of, and taking them directly here. I mean, they're dropping them off and then they're taking them right back out again. And here comes some more alloys in. So maybe that wasn't a good idea. Maybe instead I get another one of you working,
has arrived at its destination,
so that we can get some of those alloys delivered here, and get more trucks working on the task, because we have all these here as well. Let's see. So we unlocked the assistant, which means now we're going to have a lot more science production, passive science production, that is. So we could go into now the crop farm. It's going to cost us 60, but we have 70. So we could do this. I'm just nervous about whether this is the smart thing to do or not first, versus doing something like the reorganization of care, which gives us more beds in the infirmary, and which also then leads to additional beds in housing, or coming in here to the tech lab and doing... we do any of these other ones, or these all take tier 3? These all take tier 3. Okay, never mind then. What else did I have on my notes as to things that would be useful to do? The stockpile has a useful one here for integrated storage bays, making them 10% bigger. That's very useful as well. But I think we should probably look toward... So if we look toward food, then we need to start collecting water. If we just build a bunch of the farms, these farms, they require 8 people to operate to produce 1 food. And 1 food feeds 10 people. So they're not very efficient in terms of people to food. So I think we should probably look at this food production here. Crop farm then, and research that. And that's going to spend a lot of our remaining science, but hopefully we will be okay. Hopefully. Plus, we're going to get 3 every 5 cycles, so eventually we'll have enough to research something else as well. Eventually. Alright, so they are still delivering. We're up to 75, but we're good otherwise. So the last few should be coming in right now, hopefully. And then they'll unload the rest of these, the rest of this stuff here. I forgot that we still had potentially more stuff coming in up there, so that's fine.
A new request awaits your attention.
So, population management tutorial. I think we might have seen this one once before, or we saw the supply management, the resource management transfers before. This one gives us population management, where we can specify how we might want to transfer people back and forth between the sectors to keep them balanced and keep them fully staffed. But this gives us a whole nother sector now. And this looks effectively the same as the first one did when we first got here, except it doesn't have the docking bay, of course. So we need to come through here and pick up all of this. Oh, wow. All of this alloy. Oh, boy. As well as a few electronics. But all of this is otherwise all alloy. Interesting. Okay, well then, let's put down... so when you open up a new sector, you get 4 things that you can build off the bat. You get a workshop. You get actually 2 free stockpiles. It says 1 free, but you get 2 free. And then you also get a mess hall for free. So I want to build a road here, and it doesn't horribly matter where we build this road, but I'm just going to build it. And then we want to build that workshop first, of course. And I'm just going to put it up here against the wall. We'll see how that works out. And that builds instantly, of course. And then we also have a stockpile here that'll immediately turn into an alloy stockpile. And then we also have another stockpile we can build that will immediately turn into a food stockpile with 16 food in it. Relief. Oh, what a relief it is. And then I'm going to put down the mess hall as well. And now we have all the buildings that we can have access to anyway. So we want to start collecting, but we also need to continue building roads. Let's do just something like this for a temporary hack. We'll come down here and come across to there. And our workshop will work on that. We can continue this way, like this, as well as into there maybe, and up to here maybe. We also need to come up here for these, so maybe we'll come down like that. And we'll just let our guy here do that collecting, or do that working, and we'll let our drones here do the collecting of resources. It's not a lot of alloys, but it's enough alloys. Let's go ahead and collect those 2, please. And then we'll collect these next. I'll wait on the electronics because we'll have to have a separate stockpile for that. But we also need to make sure we keep an eye on this sector as well, like this, for example. A new sector has successfully been unlocked. This is a historic moment for DOLOS AEC and the Tiqqun mission. Acknowledged. Plus 10% trust bonus. Now, if we didn't have already 100%, that would be, you know, that'd be really good, but we need to go out to Jupiter. Jupiter, here we are. The coordinates recovered from the black box of Outer Hope have allowed us to successfully locate the Hephaestus construction facility on Jupiter. Using the encrypted channels and DOLOS communication protocols found on Outer Hope to access the Hephaestus site seems to have woken the resident PA. Diagnostics reveal that prior to the failure of the site's data archiving systems, the facility had been inactive for several decades. Strangely, the industrial zone is currently powered and operational. Investigate the industrial zone. Okay, and then we need to continue with the road work here. If I clear those out, though, then maybe I can just go straight through. Should be better, probably, in the end. I can delete some of this road here, though. We don't need it, I don't think. And I will probably end up rearranging large chunks of this over time. We're just kind of getting here and getting it temporarily going. We can also delete this little crooked road here. And we can indeed continue this way with another road. Open that one up. And we can delete this road. And delete that road too, because I'm sure we're going to do something different with it. Although maybe we wait and we figure out what we want to put here. So it's yelling at me because I need housing and health. We have plenty of people, or plenty of happiness here because we get plus 10 temporarily, I assume, for opening the new sector. That doesn't affect over here, though. We do get... Actually, no, we don't. So we want to keep working. Everything seems stable over there still. So let's look at what we might want to place in this. We might want another workshop because we're going to do a lot of building. So I think I'm going to place one of those. And then we'll obviously need more stockpiles. Batteries need to be something we deal with soon. Space, we may want a docking bay. Maybe, maybe not. But we are going to probably want an EVA airlock. Because we're actually going to definitely want an EVA airlock. Because right now, all the work we're doing to repair the hull is bupkis. So we should put another EVA airlock in. And maybe I will put them up on the upper wall this time. So we need to delete a few of these roads so that we can get one of those in. That's going to require a bunch more, and we need one more road deleted too. Unless I don't want that road blocked. So, with putting things up here on the top, you can get exactly 4 wall things in the space provided. So that would block out that entire road. But then again, maybe I don't care. But then, on the third hand, that limits my ability to put things in. Let's do it anyway. In here, because this is only 3 wide, and we need to be able to put a road if we're going to put anything else in here. So maybe I end up removing these 2 that are here now and putting in like 2 sets of houses or something that are 3 by back to back. Because right now we have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. And so a house would be 3, and then 3 more, and then a road. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means I could get 6 houses in that block. So maybe after we get this built, we can deconstruct this one, and then we can move this to another spot. That might work. What do we have for spacing down here? 1, 2, 3, 4. South of this road, that could be useful. And then 4, and then 4. So that's more useful for things that take up 4 or 8 spaces, like temporarily at least some of these farms until we get the other farms finished. And or more storage, workshops, of course, things like that. So maybe we do build a road here to here after all. That gives us, 4 by 4, which will be enough. And this road may not stay here. I may to make them to be longer blocks or something. But at least for now, it connects this up. and it makes our stuff connected here. Now I learned, and you can tell this somehow, I can't remember how we saw it, but there's an internal road that goes vertically along the length of the wall. So even though we're inputting things from right here, if we do some transferring, that is, and we're exporting, we can export things or import things through this one or through this one from the axis at this road here, if that makes any sense. So you don't have to connect all 4 roads or even the same road on both sides of a wall. You can just connect up however you want. Hopefully you're coming to build this now. You are. Good. I see you there working. And let's collect these. And we might want to set up some resource management and transfer some alloys between the sectors. Let's see, how does this work? Let's see. We can enable. Maybe we should look at this in the tutorials again. Here, resources, transport, transfers. Ah, yes. So you go to this icon. We did that one. We can enable the transfer of a resource, and then set the amount of resources you want to have there. If the sector stockpiles go under this quantity, they're eligible to import from other sectors' potential resources. And then for the exporting sector, set the amount of resources you want to remain there. All the extra resources above this value will be eligible for export. And then you set priorities on how you want things to go back and forth between which sectors and those types of things. So if we go in here in sector 1, we want to set alloys as active. Say we want to keep 100, that seems a reasonable amount. And we want to export to sector 2, or we can send to all. And then in sector 2, we want to set that to have at least 50, I guess, maybe. That would be nice. There we go. Desired amount in sector. Desired amount in sector as a minimum, as a. Okay, I think that makes sense. I think. Exporting from here, we're importing into here. Although we don't have enough here right now to transfer any because we set it at 100, but I think that's still reasonable. Because we're going to smelt some more. And we might still be gathering some. No, we're not. There's pods out there, though. So we have a science ship, the Montessori, that is idle. No, sorry, not the Montessori is idle. The Foucault is idle. And we're currently mining, or transporting with this Quicksilver, what stuff? It's gathering these items, and it's actually gathering now carbon and silicon, I assume, or maybe pods. There's Schwarzenegger who doesn't have anything to do. We found all the carbon and silicon, so it should be mining. Barracuda should be. Why is it standing by? Interesting. Where are they at? Red means cargo ships. Blue means science ships. Yellow, you're mining. You are. Oh, you're coming back. You're probably coming back for repairs. Yeah, I bet you that's what it's doing. Okay.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Ah, good. We've reached the automated construction site, which, despite its age, is still in good working condition. Although the DOLOS technology here is recognizable, it is much more advanced than what we have on board the Tiqqun. In the control room for the site, we came across a mausoleum dedicated to Lyra Fraus. Lyra Fraus? I can't. It's hard to tell sometimes when this font, when it's bolded, if it's an I or an L. The resident PA identified us as DOLOS personnel and granted access to data records. These confirmed that the Hephaestus site was used to construct and house an advanced prototype of the Vol engine, codenamed Ixion. An engine of this type is currently moored to an EKP structure with a harness link. Our engineers say one of our mining ships could tow this. Attaching an Ixion engine to the Tiqqun will restore our Vol jump capabilities. There are 200 pods ready for extraction as well. So now we can extract the Ixion from the atmosphere Jupiter using a mining ship. And so we need to... I think we'll snag the Barracuda, since it's on its way back anyway. And I still need to see what the heck the other one is doing standing by. Why are you standing by? Should be able to still mine this, right? Yeah, there's plenty to mine. It's mining. I don't understand why its action is standing by then. Interesting. Interesting. We should probably send out some more probes for iron, too. I mean, not that we don't have enough to mine, but a mine is a terrible thing to waste. So I have any really good-sized nodes? I'm just going to do a quick scan here just to kind of find... Yeah, I see one right in there. Right in there? There it is. That's decent. And then we did that one already. So we're going to let this... Oh, wait. We're waiting on... Okay, I think it's got to wait till it comes back for repairs before it'll actually do the thing. That's fine. We have time. I actually just said the ship cannot do something without a valid autonomy selected. I don't know what that means. Let's wait and see. Maybe it's just got to be repaired first. I don't have storage for that. Let's continue this road here. Out this way. Also, you can pick up that, I guess. I guess I should have done it. Yeah. We're waiting on this to get built. Until then, we are losing more than we can repair. But that's fine, I guess, for now. We're bringing in more pods, but we are waking people up. I want to build another storage as well here, or two. Although we don't really have that much... oh, we can collect more. Let's build some more roads. Down here, actually just cut across that and then do that little one right there. Pick up that as well, please. Crop farm has been unlocked. And we've gained 3 science since we started that, so that's good. But we don't have enough to do any other research, so we're going to idle out the research for right now. I'm going to leave this on because we have to leave it on in order to keep gaining. But at least we have the crop farm. We could actually start building, potentially, crop farms in here. Now, when I was reading the crop farm thing, it said something about 9 crop fields, and I think it said how many tiles in total that they could cover. So maybe we should look at that as a possibility, but they're going to also need water. And we don't have ice to make water. And I just thought of something else. We don't have the fusion station to make the water. So that was dumb to do. Oh well, we'll have to live with it. Which means we're going to have to make a bunch of these insect farms, at least for now. We can handle 2 of them right off. Do I want to do that? Yeah, we can do that. Make 2 of them, because we're going to need the food really soon. And we're going to need these things to be built very soon as well. I'm going to have to delete these pretty soon, but I'm waiting till these are done. I guess I should potentially straighten this road out, although I don't know how we're going to exactly build this. And I need to build some more roads. Although they're going to collect from here. Let's do a road right here. And that's just to get that one. And we're going to run out of iron pretty soon. So I guess we're just going to need a bunch of these farms, which is going to eat up a bunch of our people. But I don't know how else to do this. Now I wish I had spent my science on something else. I guess this is where this game is one of those that you have to actually play, learn, and then play again. Now let's do that, and then let's turn this one off. It's going to deliver some more here, and then it'll eventually empty out. There it is. And let's delete it. Let's also delete this one. Let's build a new workshop down here. They're not used that often that we need to avoid putting them down in a corner or whatever, I don't think. And then we can do another storage here. That is 3 by 5. 4 by 6. Yeah, it's 4 by 6. Kind of a rough combination. And then we also need to house people here before they all start complaining. Too much. Too much. You're flushing waste. What did you say? Probe is completed. Scan. Uh-oh. Mess hall because we have too many people. Yeah. Yeah. Or not enough people, I mean. Can I... let's see. Pledge to repair the mess hall within 10 cycles and keep it running optimally for 2 cycles. Sure. In that case... Let's see. Workplace safety. Breakdowns. We haven't had this yet, which is kind of amusing. But... they cause injuries, which we don't have medical things set up yet. Oops. And then effects and repairs and fires. Keep the game paused for a moment. So we have some injured people here. We need another infirmary in this block. I guess we'll put it here. Can I set a high priority on that? Yep. High priority, please. Get that done, which we don't have really the alloys for just yet. Oof. But we are dismantling... We did dismantle. We're mantling these. We need more roads, then, to get out beyond some of these things. But then again, maybe we don't. Let's delete this road. Delete this road. Get down there, but I'm not that worried about it. But more importantly, we need to get this built as soon as possible. And we need to send some more people over. So we need to look at population management. We need to send, let's see, type workers from Sector 1 to Sector... How many workers do we have extra in Sector 1, actually? 20-something. How many people do we need here? 20 would be good. So let's send 20 people. Management from only workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. I want to send 20 and migrate. I don't know how long it takes them, but we'll see. And they will be a very, very big help so that we don't completely wipe on this. But they're still happy because it's still a new sector, so that's good, even though there's problems. And they're in overwork. Boy, more people. More people. 20's not going to be enough, actually. 1 crew member died, 1 in an accident. Yeah, crap. Surprised that's not an event of its own. We still need more people. How many do we have extra here now? 9. Can I minimize the worker count here somehow? Not really. And we're going to have a food problem very soon. I may not make it. I may lose this my first game. Well, my first... Yeah, not really my first game, but I may not make it. But I also just noticed the time, so we're going to leave this here at a suspenseful point, and we'll see if we can make it through a whole nother episode. Otherwise, maybe we'll start over. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.